Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Namaste, namaste. Jai Shankar, welcome to Satsang. Welcome to Satsang. I don't know what to tell you today. Your Ma is so full, so just beyond everything, right? Beyond the world, beyond the mantras, beyond your practices, just tune in to the energy field that exists this moment. You can close your eyes for a few moments and tune in to the energy field that exists this moment. Thank you so much. So when you drop everything, right, this is what presence within you is showing you, that you are the Satchidananda, you are the eternal, imperishable one, right? So our great masters have always told us that you are never born, you never die. And I used to question my master, my Swamiji. What do you mean by that, So it's hard to speak, because that state of being exists within you all the time, but we do not recognize it. We do not recognize it, right? So when we practice all the abhyasas, practice all the prerequisites and everything, you will come to that state. But before I start, I wanted to bring to your notice two main points in the sadhana, in the spiritual practice, which I've told you many times. We've repeated it many times, but it just came up so strongly that some of you are tuning in and attending satsangs all the time, right? You're there, diligently being there. Some of you are coming and going, some of you are new today, whatever it is. So to bring it to your attention, please, the newcomers or the people who have not been doing the sadhana diligently, it's okay. Any time is a good time. Go to the prerequisites, go to the YouTube videos and watch everything. But for today, the most important is your pure intention. It's your pure intention. Pure intention for what? Pure intention to break free. That is if you want it. Okay, that is if you want it, because some people, there are a lot of spiritual beings, beautiful beings. You're a very spiritual person, but you're not ready for that flight. You're not ready to break free. You're not ready to give up your toys. So that's okay too. But for those who really want to break free, you have to pay attention to that pure intention, which in Sanskrit we call sankalpa. So committed intention is called sankalpa. That means you take intention, like you take almost like a vow, that if this is what I want, if this is what my soul is asking me to come and see itself, then I have to do this abhyasas. So the second point is total surrender. These two go hand in hand. So Sharanagati. So when you have the pure intention, and then you also have the total surrender, like two, wings of the bird of spirituality, then it becomes, your sadhana becomes very easy. It's very easy, it's very simple, but for most people it's not easy. And why it's called a rare path is because of this. We are in the world, we believe in our manifestations, name and form, which you have taken so many thousands of lifetimes, right? So don't be hard on yourself. Be very, sweet and kind and compassionate on yourself too, because otherwise we are not going to go anywhere, with this. So coming to the pure intention, when your intention is so pure, sincere, now I want you to witness when I'm saying pure intention, I want you to witness within you, is it really pure? Is it really what you want, right? So when you go and witness, there'll be some little things coming at the side, some things which needs to be dropped. Then you have to look at it and say, oh, this is coming, like I have a desire for this one, I have a desire to do little something. Oh, my desire is, oh, how I wish I could be in that place in the Himalayas or something. All those things, everything under the jagat, in the jagat. When we are living in the jagat, we have all this attractions and distractions and everything. So you have to pay attention to that, and coming to the point, okay, can I give up all of this internally, inner renunciation? So if you can say, of course I can give it up, like it's like silly mind coming in, mind ego telling me I have to do this, I have to do that. Okay, so when you come to that state of recognizing that it can be given up, now you're talking, now you're walking the path. Now you have that pure intention, which is very filled with sincerity and diligence. So then what happens is you are aware. First you have to be aware that you are awareness itself at every moment. That's why the awareness shows you this is what you want to do, right? And the second is the Sharanagati, because total surrender has to be maintained at every moment. So what happens in this one's experience, for so many years it's been followed, is that it comes to a point where you don't even think about it. It's Sharanagati all the time. It doesn't matter what your environment is, it doesn't matter what you've been given, not given, whatever it is. So the total Sharana, so in the beginning you have to practice it. So some of even my close sadhakas have said, well, ma, I'm not sure if I'm in total Sharanagati, if I'm not sure if I'm in total surrender. So that needs to be looked at, that needs to be witnessed and seen, why am I not able to give up this little self? That is your name and form, and all the toys that is around you, that surrounds you. There's so many toys, right? So many distractions. So trust me, I promise you, once you start in this path and you are diligent about it, because God also has a lot to do with it, no? The God within you is not somebody outside. That Arunachala, I felt so much, so powerful. I was telling Chris, I was sitting in the shrine and just meditating for a few minutes before he could come, and there was no difference between Arunachala and this little shrine that we have here. So that presence is you. That Satchidananda is you, ever, always present. So don't doubt that. See, it's difficult to be in the path. The reason enlightenment or moksha becomes a rarity is because we are doubtful. We are saying, okay, this is something metaphysical, something that I cannot even comprehend. Okay? That's why we have our gurus. Tomorrow is Guru Purnima. I thought it was today, but tomorrow is Guru Purnima. So we revere all the great sages, starting from Veda Vyas and Adi Shankaracharya, Ramana Maharshi, my Swamiji, and so many innumerable gurus who have given up their lives, literally every moment of their lives have given up for our enlightenment. Okay, so please think of them, revere them, and that happened because of Sharanagati, total Sharanagati. They didn't care what was given to them, whether they got a meal, like my Swamiji, he got a meal, he sat under a bridge in Mount Abu and didn't really care what was happening, and somebody saw him, and some folks came and talked to him, and he started simply speaking from the state of being that he was already the presence, he was already the self. So that kind of impacted people around him, and then he was found, right? He was recognized by a wonderful, great elderly person who is actually a very, very prominent person in India. And then they took him to her, and then magic just happened. Everything, his ashram, very simple ashram, got built, and then he became very famous. And how did that? Like that person who recognized him to be brilliant is not the one who made it happen, right? She facilitated. She was an instrument to introduce him to the world. But that Satchidananda was blazing like the sun within him. Otherwise, people were not attracted. So that's what I'm saying. So that is blazing within every one of us right this moment. The only reason we don't feel we are blazing, we don't feel that we are that powerful soul energy, is because we don't believe. We only believe in our manifestations, right? So many lifetimes, and the vasanas are there, the impressions of so many lifetimes, which brings us down. But the moment you remind yourself you're Satchidananda, the moment you remind, you just, because you have to go with the Guru principles, knowledge and wisdom and recognition and realization, right? That's all we can do, is to recognize that from all the great masters, what have they done? This is what they've left behind for us. They didn't take a pin, they didn't take anything, they didn't want anything from this world. All that they wanted is, okay, let me just bring one or two folks to this realization, to this enlightened state. So if you can just remind yourself, you are the Satchidananda, you are that pure truth, you are that awareness, and you are the joy. It's like existence, consciousness, bliss, which every guru has talked about. In my own little self, the truth, existence is truth, that you are alive, that you are here, that you are the Satchidananda. So that is the truth. And Chit is the awareness that exists within you every moment. And Ananda is pure joy. So you are that. That is your natural state, right? That is your natural state. So why would you want to go away from the natural state and think that you're this name and form, and then you're related to this person XYZ, and then you have to do this, and then the doership comes and all that. So we have alienated all of that. You've got to drop your doership. That I am, because when the name and form is there, the doership is very much there, prevalent, right? Because the name and form thinks it's doing everything, and that God cannot do anything for it. That it's capable of everything. All the erudite folks, everything, people who are capable. Okay, if you just recognize that God is within you conducting, like my Swamiji says, He's the conductor. He's conducting your life. So pay attention to that, to that conducting. So in all of this, if the Sharanagati is there, if that pure surrender is there, total surrender, even if you're like 90%, 99% also, there's a little bit of lax, right? So when I'm not saying, okay, come to 100% now. I'm just saying that is a necessity for pure joy, pure awareness, okay? And that you exist as, and that is your natural state, okay? So if that is practiced on a regular basis, very humbly saying that, I will just believe what Ma is telling. Let me just try it for a little bit. And then you will see like, wow, this is like exploding within you. Something explodes within you and you don't know what is happening. And when that is happening, you have no contact with the world. The world is simply dropped for you. All of your fascinations, all of your distractions simply is ablaze. Gone. Hari Om Tat Sat. Pure ashes. Okay? It's pure ashes. So in that, everything falling apart, you think, oh my God, how am I going to sustain? How am I going to go to work? You will do all of the above. But I'm just telling you to be in the now, where that is presenting itself. Many times we'll say, okay, oops, it's like exploding within me, but I don't have time because I got to go to work. I'm challenging you. When that happens, can you just call in your boss or call in sick? That's what I'm saying. That is the warrior angel that Ms. Swamiji used to talk about. You got to be a warrior angel. You got to be very courageous in this path. It's not for sissies. And then, the comfort zone, we all have a comfort zone, and we cannot move out of it because we think, if I move out of this comfort zone, who will provide for me? Trust me on this one. This one has always been provided, and I'm always doing things like a recluse, I seem very nice, I seem very sweet and quiet, but I do some crazy things. But that it comes from this explosion within me saying like, move, do this, do that. So if you do not trust that infinite within you, commanding and demanding you and guiding you to do that, you cannot go forward. You cannot question. First of all, you have to have no doubt to come to that state. You see what I'm saying? To come to that state, you cannot have any doubt. You keep on having doubts, you'll have one doubt, you'll have 50 more doubts. So you have to just drop everything and say, this is what I am going to be doing now, period, end of story. Then when you come to the state when I'm talking about, when I say there's so much, this one is so full today, what makes this one say that? Because that's the truth. Because in that fullness, there's nothing needed from the world. Not even a sip of water, nothing. Because when that need comes up in the body, that will be provided by self. Okay, so please keep that in mind. I put it in a very simple way, but to understand this, you don't need anything. You don't need to read up umpteen books. Okay, everything, all the umpteen books will finally come to the conclusion of this only. So why not go straight to the direct path, what we're teaching you here, or telling you, or introducing you to that. So that way, okay, body is time bound. Time is flying. Everybody is getting old. So you can't be sitting and, I'm not saying I have not done the Shastras with my Swamiji. Everything is there. There's a time and place for it. If you're young and you've been with a teacher and you've gone through all that, fantastic. But right now I'm saying, if you can just concentrate on what is being told here today, you can be free. Now, here, tomorrow, today, this moment, during transmission, before transmission. Okay, so there were a couple of questions from a sadhaka, from the same sadhaka I got today. And I want to just share it with you because it's very important. It's very important question. So, dearest Ma, I have two questions. It usually takes me an hour of meditation. Please listen carefully. It usually takes me an hour of meditation before I can connect to the flow of the self. Okay. Now, what I spoke just now is that flow only. You are the flow. You are the self. This moment. So, who is trying to connect with the flow? Who is trying to connect with the self? So, there is a being, there's a name and form. It's part of your sadhana, right? Okay, you can say it's part of my sadhana. But I'm also trying to tell you, to introduce you to that state where if you already know you are the self, you're the pure self, you already know, that is the fact, that is your true nature. You are the self now. Okay? So, you are the flow. This moment you are the flow. This moment you are the self. So, where is the question in waiting for an hour of meditation to feel the flow? The moment you recognize or you just believe in what is being said, yes, how silly of me. I am the self, right? I am Satchidananda this moment. And I am the flow. When you are in the state of Satchidananda, isn't there a flow? What is flowing for this one to come and sit here and go blah blah? I have no clue what I am supposed to say 1 second before I come here, So, you are the flow. Remember that you are the flow. Why does it take so long to get out of the mind and into the flow? Because the mind is very present. It's very naughty. It's the ego, which is not trying. It does not want you to go to the flow. It does not want you to recognize the self. So, that's why the mind is always there, because we've taken so many lifetimes. The mind is always there. But, you have to recognize it is only the child going blah blah. It's okay for me to just go directly to the self and ignore the mind. Sometimes I've told you many times, I don't remember when and what, but you have to pay a little attention, to the child. So you have to just, look at it and recognize and again witness, what is this mind trying to tell me? I'm not the self right now. That's wrong. So I'm not the flow right now. That's also wrong. So bye-bye. Just bye-bye. Just say, give the pink slip to the mind and say, I have nothing to do with you anymore. Okay? What can I do to connect to the flow and stay in it much sooner? So, the sooner is what I spoke to you about. But don't think of sooner or later. Okay, because those are agendas of the mind again, which puts obstacles in front of you to simply be you. So I'm saying, like, don't do anything, simply like drop everything and simply sit and stare at the walls. Sometimes I just feel like doing nothing and just stare, and I may not be staring at a picture or anything, but the recognition of that infinite reality, that Satchidananda, which is so supremely silent, serene, filled with compassion, will just simply be flowing automatically. It's like incredible. Okay, I can give you 100 examples, but one example of this person whom, part of a family member, and I was with him one day and I was cutting mango. I'm saying like how the Supreme Presence itself at the time when you won't even, you won't even think, right? So I was cutting mangoes. It was very delicious, and I was giving him a few pieces. And no, before I could give him, I was putting it in a container, and he said, "Oh, can I have some?" I said, "Of course, take." And I gave him a fork, and he took it and he ate. And the way he swallowed, okay, I was just thinking, oh my God, I've just facilitated something to make that person enjoy that fruit. And there was such an infinite compassion in my heart at that moment. And that has never gone away. So every time, okay, I am cutting fruit, or the feeling of that infinite compassion in my heart is always felt. So what happens when it's felt so immensely in your heart? That'll never go away. So the compassion always stays with you, and you become that compassionate reality. So all of those little things, no, it's so important. It's so important for your facilitation to that freedom, because that freedom, in that state, you don't think like, oh, I didn't take the mango, I didn't taste the mango. First give it to the other person, no? Because you and the name and form completely dismantles. So what is that is moving, that is talking, that is doing everything else? The doing happens till the day you die. I'm not saying you're not going to be doing anything and you're going to be sitting and staring at the walls all the time. When the necessity arises, the God within you, will get up and will fix something for yourself, or will say, oops, I don't have any groceries, I have to go to the grocery store. Whatever. You get my point? So that's all needs to be said. Actually, there's nothing more to be said, because all the great masters have said and said and said. What more do we have to talk about? This is the very important thing what today came up. So the pure intention and Sharanagati is very important. Even if the mind comes and tries to sabotage you, you've been given all the tools in the prerequisites, everything we've been spoken for so many years. Use those tools. Simply sit and question the mind. Why are you here? You're not invited. I've already given you the pink slip long time ago. You're not invited. I don't need you. Do you have the guts to say that? I don't need you, meaning that there is an infinite God within you which is facilitating that guidance, which is facilitating that love, that compassionate, unconditional love, which the mind cannot give you, nor anybody else can give you. That's my humble experience. Really, really, really. Because that is the only thing which makes me get up, which makes this one do the satsangs, makes this one walk, talk, whatever, And when you have received that gift, you cannot but be without giving it away. No. So who is giving to whom? There is nobody. Everything is an illusion. But something facilitates within you to just talk to a few people. Now as you can see, we've got 2 Zoom satsangs in a month. Please, I'm very happy that all of you are attending. That's God's grace. Some things have shifted in this one's life that we are able to do this. Give you 2, and of course I do not want to keep repeating, but I have to say that Chris is here to facilitate all that, because I needed that one person, and God sent him here, and he just came unconditional. He's totally unconditional, living the true freedom. So if everybody can do that, it's very simple actually. Okay, but once you get it, it becomes very simple. Before that, it's not that easy. It's simple but not easy. So now we are trying to facilitate in-person satsang in this area, and we didn't have much of a feedback the first thing, but it's okay. We have a lot of patience, and there's no attachment to it. We are just offering it in the Dublin, Livermore, Pleasanton area right now in the Livermore Public Library. So if anybody knows anybody in this area who would be interested, we don't want anybody to just fill the halls, but somebody, the true seekers who are interested, we can get them really to quickly to the recognition of who they truly are, of their true nature. So please, you can send the satsang information to the satsang if you feel that you have somebody in the Bay Area or any San Jose, this area where Livermore, Pleasanton, Dublin, where they can facilitate. They want to come and meet this one. I would love to do that. That is the whole life's destiny for this one. Okay. And there's no attachment. There's no, if it doesn't happen and we stop also, it's okay. I'm doing this with you. You're all here very diligently, tuned in here for your freedom. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. And any questions, please send it in. Do not send it in just maybe the day before satsang is fine, the next satsang. Send it in. Even otherwise, questions are welcome. I will always reply to you, as soon as possible. Sometimes it may take a few days. Sometimes it depends on this one's, agendas of the situations with family and all that. So thank you for being here. I hope you got it. I hope you practice it. I hope you clear away all the doubts, clean the slate as of today, and simply go forward with courage and say, of course God is going to bring me to that freedom, because that God, that infinite being is within me. It's not outside. It's facilitating everything within me. Like Krishna tells Arjuna and the others, Karnan, I am, when Karnan is injured in the war, he's a great soul. I don't want to go into the story. He's injured in the war, and when he goes and he stops the whole universe, because the injured Karnan asked him very pertinent questions. So he stops the whole war to talk to him. He says, I can't talk in front of everybody, so I'm talking to you now. And he says, do you see my hand? And he has the cut in his hand and the bleeding, and it's bleeding. He says, I am you. I am the the opposition. I am the enemy. I am the trees. I am everything. So I also feel what you're feeling. So we are all only the one self. So do not have that doubt. Once you come to the recognition of that immensity within you, then there is no conflict. There is no other. There's no other at all. So how will you interact with the world without thinking there's the other? No, you'll only think, oh, that's only me. I was in that state before, sometime in my life. That's only me. So once you start feeling that, interacting, then there's no conflict. There is no, oh, this past things, I felt like this, I'm still working on that, I'm still working on this. Why waste your time? Just drop everything and just be in the state. Thank you so much. Taking a deep breath. Inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Taking a deep breath, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale, dropping everything that does not serve you. Just be in the now, not being this or that, just being your true natural self. Dropping all the desires, the wants, the supposed to be doing this concepts. One last time, taking a deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Slowly come out. Slowly come out. Take in a gentle breath, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Allowing the releasing. Deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Dropping everything that does not serve you. One last time, deep inhalation. Inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Namaste, Jai Shankar. So, it was a blessing that Amy talked about having a private in, a satsang in San Diego. So, we are having it on the 29th, as I mentioned, of August. And I do come twice a year. So those of you who are interested in attending the satsang, please contact the Seva team. Would love to have more people. We've tried having it in a very big place the first time, and there were substantial people but not a lot, so we did not do it again. So Carrie and Victoria O'Reilly's, they have opened their house, their beautiful home, for us to have our sessions there. So just contact and we'll see how many show up, so we can still have it there, continue to have it. Also, last but not least, I want to again thank Deepa Maria so much. Not just Chris, but she always comes. She's been coming from Grass Valley and Zooming all these years, and now she comes for the in-person satsangs as well. So thank you, Deepa. Love you. Thank you for her diligence. For 9 years she's been with us. So thank you so much. Thanks for all of you being here and attending the satsang. We'll see you next time. Take care. Love you all. Just continue to practice what was said today, and you will be pretty amazed at what happens internally. You have to drop everything else. That's the only thing. Thank you. Jai Shankar. Namaste. Namaste. Jai Shankar.